welcome to Concours d'Elegance, also known as my front yard. Today we are going to review this 2025 Volkswagen Jetta SE edition. Today this one comes in pyrite metallic, I believe it's silver, rolling on 17-inch alloy wheels, and it's a sedan. You don't see these very much. Everything seems to be a crossover SUV. But let's take a quick look at this thing. So it's got nice lines on it. I drove the thing. If you want a long form video of this where we go out and do some driving in addition to what you're going to see here, please go to our YouTube channel at Vehicle ID Specialists, and we'll post a video there, some driving video. But interior is nice, nicely padded steering wheel, nice digital cluster, big screen in the middle. It's got the 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission, nice two-tone silver, dark gray seats. Yeah, it's a nice car. I've never owned a Volkswagen, but drove this one, and it's a nice car for what it is. I mean, they get very good gas mileage. These things are rated for 29 to 40 miles per gallon, and yeah, under the hood, 1.5 liters, 158 horse, turbocharged 4-cylinder. And you know, it's not a hot rod, but it gets you down the road with good gas mileage. So there you go. Remember, Volkswagen owns Porsche, Lamborghini, Bugatti, Bentley, and a few others, Audi. So a lot of the components of those vehicles are also shared on these. So it's built well, seems to be a very solid car, and crash ratings, like I said, are really good. And yeah, it's I think this price, this is the SE, I think it starts around $26,500 for an SE edition. Front end looks real good. I like the lines there on the front. It's a real nice looking headlight package there on the front. So very nice car. If you want the full driving, head over to our YouTube channel, where we'll take it out, put it through the paces, and tell you what we think about performance. See you there. All right, we're going to take this 2025 Volkswagen Jetta SE for a ride. Gotta have a Diet Coke to do that. Here we go. All right. Some things of note when you take one of these things, start them up. Two things I like to disable because I don't like the features they have. Auto start and stop. I cannot stand that on any vehicle. It's called the start-stop system on this car. In my opinion, you're just going to wear out your starter. You're not going to save but 1 cent of fuel a month, and I'll gladly pay that by saving probably a $1,500 starter job. So that gets deactivated. The second thing that I like to deactivate on this particular car, because I've driven it about 100 miles now, is the, I guess they call, different companies call it different things, but it's called lane assist, or another car's lane departure, right? So it centers you in your lane, and then when you start drifting towards this either side, it rattles the steering wheel, and it kind of fights you where you can't maneuver your vehicle. You have to kind of fight through it. It's pretty stiff on this car when I was driving it, and I could not, while I was driving it, figure out how to turn the damn thing off. I went through every setting on the steering wheel. I looked here in the center, there wasn't anything. Finally, at the end of our ride, I figured out there's a little button on the end of the headlight dim switch here, and that knocked it out. There we go. So you uncheck the lane assist box, and that will take that feature off. And yeah, I can't drive like that. I want to be able to switch lanes. I want to switch lanes. So this car, these VWs are, you know, I've never owned one. Just doing a little research on this car. Great crash ratings from IIHS, the Insurance Institute. They probably have the best crash rating game going. It's more detailed. It's not just stars. They actually give you specific details. And if they have great crash ratings and they don't like the headlights on, they put on there the headlights suck. They put on their you know, components and that kind of stuff. So I tend to gravitate towards IIHS for my crash rating stuff. Fuel mileage. I mean, VWs for years have been known for their fuel mileage. You'll get, this one here is rated 29 to 40, I think, city highway, which is great. You got eco mode. If you want to hit the little eco, it comes up as an E on the screen, and you'll get some less power from the engine, but you'll get a good driving fuel mileage anyways. But we're gonna jump on the highway up here and give it a little test of this 1.5 liter 158 horsepower single turbo inline 4. It's got an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission, and we'll see. You know, you're not buying a race car when you buy one of these. This is a commuter car. I like the fact that it's a sedan and it's not an SUV crossover that looks like everything else. So kudos to Volkswagen for continuing to make a damn sedan. You know, I think everybody sold out on that whole thing, and everything looks the same, and I don't like that. And all the colors. This is pyrite metallic, I believe, silver. Which is I always like silver from cars and stuff, but you know, I don't know. I like particular colors of cars. Everything looks the same. All the blacks, the whites, the grays. Everything's such the same nowadays. You know, I wish you could just order different. I mean, I know you can, but if you just look at the cars passing you on the commuter cars, I call it the innocent motoring public, as we used to say in law enforcement. People just going to work and commuting. If you just look at the cars that they drive, God, they all look the same. It gets harder and harder to tell anything apart. But this one drives really nice. You know, that little turbo, you can just give it a little kick. It'll rev the thing up, you know, and it'll get you on your way there. But it's not a race car, folks. And I'm not a big fan. You guys have probably heard me say it before. I'm not a big fan of 4-cylinder turbos. Just from what I've seen, you know, these little engine blocks are not set up to handle the internal pressures that a turbocharger adds into them, and I'm more of a V6, V8 if you're going to put turbos on something to be able to handle it. But I know there's a lot of cars out there that have them, and I just don't know that longevity is on their side, you know, depending how it's driven. You know, if someone, I guess, ramrods the shit out of the thing, yeah, I guess, but that's just an opinion. That's just my own opinion. I don't buy 4-cylinders for the most part. I like V6s, bigger V6s, and now my wife did have the Edge Sport. We had the 2.7 V6, but it had twin turbos. Didn't feel like a V6. I just like having a lot of horsepower whenever I buy anything. But this is a rental, so you know, we only needed it for a couple days, so it rides nice. It stuck out to me, and that's why. Why did I pick this? I've never owned one. Why would I pick this? It stuck out to me. Everything in the lot, they said, go ahead and pick any of these cars. They all look the same. And this one with the front end it has a nice profile across the front. Kind of, I said, whoa, what's that? And I saw the big VW, obviously, on the front. And it stuck out to me. And then I looked at it, and it was clean, had a nice looking interior. And I said, why not? Let's go give this Volkswagen a run, and then we'll just do a little review of it. And yeah, we'll be able to let everybody else I'll share it with everybody else. I'm not a VW. I don't know. I know, you know, the manufacturer now owns a lot of brands. The Volkswagen Group owns Lamborghini, Porsche, or Porsche for you snobs out there, Bugatti, Audi, some heavy truck companies. They bought Navistar, which they turned back into International Motors. They own Ducati motorcycles. So VW is no joke. They own a lot of major brands, and you will find, like, I believe Tyler Hoover on his channel, he owns a Bugatti, Veyron, I guess is what it is, supercar. A lot of $10 relay components from a Volkswagen are found there, and I believe he proved that. He had a relay, electronical relay that I don't know, they wanted a lot of money for with the Bugatti name on it, but it's the same part number as a Volkswagen component, and it was like $10. So there's a lot of crossover for parts and components and that kind of thing within those brands. But I've never owned one, so I like to try new stuff out, and what a better way to do it. So it cruises real nice on the highway. It does have the adaptive cruise control, which, if you don't know what that is, it's kind of a smart cruise control. You set your cruise control, and when you get close to a vehicle, it automatically slows you down and keeps you a distance away, depending on what you set up. You can put 1 car length, 2 car length. There's a little graph here that you can select how far you want to be behind somebody, and the car sensors in the front, it censors the car in front, and it keeps that distance so you don't tailgate anybody when you have your cruise control on. I'm not a big fan. I think it's a cool concept for people, but for me, I like to control the car myself. I like to be able to, if I feel like my cruise control needs to get knocked off to stay away from tailgating somebody, I want to knock the cruise off myself. That way, I pay more attention to what I'm doing here on the road. And that's just me. That's just me, folks. But adaptive cruise control. My wife had a Toyota Avalon not too long ago. Great car, by the way. That had the adaptive cruise control as well. So this one comes with the SE, comes with the heated seats. I think the phone charging deal. I think you get some upgraded like CarPlay and that kind of stuff included for smartphones, and that's in the SE. And I think there's an SEL that you can go up one more edition and get some extra stuff there. I think that goes up to, I think this is on 17-inch wheels, alloy wheels, and I think the SEL might be on 18. So you just get a little more fluff for your money if you go up to the SEL. It's a push button start engine. Let's turn that off. I think I had it off. There we go. It's a push button start car. Key fob, has remote start, remote trunk, and the trunk is spacious. It's got a nice big trunk. It's got a spare tire in there. It's not a full-size spare tire, but we were able to put 3 pieces of luggage in the trunk, no problem. The back seat looks like it's a full bench with a center armrest that can flop down. Roomy. I'm 6'1", pretty long-legged, pretty long-armed. I fit in here just fine. It's got tilt wheel and telescoping within the one lever underneath. It's got the steering wheel, nice padded steering wheel with the flat bottom here, so your legs don't hit it. I like that. A little racy type of steering wheel. So the creature comforts on the car, I have no problem with whatsoever. Real sleek design. Would I buy a Volkswagen? I don't know. After driving this, I would. Here's one thing I would want to know. I would probably look up to see what the longevity is of that engine, if they have any mechanical recalls, which I didn't see pop up. Previous versions, previous years I did, but not this one. I'd want to see, are these very expensive to fix? Because some cars are rolling money pits. Your BMWs and that kind of stuff, they're dealer only repair type of stuff, money pits. And so I'd have to look into, that kind of thing when it comes to a Volkswagen. But I wouldn't mind, giving one of these. I've owned just about every type of car other than the exotic brands, but I wouldn't mind giving one of these a try. Certainly if you're in the market for fuel economy, Volkswagen is known for that, and so can't complain about Volkswagen fuel economy. If you want a race car and go street racing, this isn't the car for you. If you want a grocery getter, nice for handling, this is a nice little car. If you're a young family, even husband and wife, and maybe two small children or a baby or whatever, this car would be a good one. And I think the price wise, I think these SEs go for $26,500 and up, depending on how you outfit them. But I think that starts in the area of $26,500. So where can you nowadays it's hard to get a car under $30,000 with good options and that kind of thing. But this is not made in the U.S. This is a Mexican-built Volkswagen. Okay, they make a lot of their cars down there, Pueblo, Mexico assembly plant. I don't know the quality control of that plant. I know some other plants that I've looked up in other vehicles that were built down there, they've had some issues. But if you get it on a lease, if you lease the thing, then the mechanical problems aren't yours to worry about. If you're buying, that's something you got to look into. You got to look into past recalls and the quality control at certain assembly plants, and that makes a difference. When I buy my Chevy Silverado pickup trucks, I've learned over the years, I only buy them from usually the Fort Wayne assembly plant or the Flint. If I go 2500, which I have now, Flint, Michigan plant puts together the 2500s, and I've not had any mechanical issues getting my trucks from those two plants. And that's just my experience. You have so many cars over the years, you start to kind of recognize those trends. But I enjoy the trucks I get from those plants. Now this, I'm not familiar with the plant that builds these at all. So, but I know that this vehicle is built in Mexico. So how does that affect the price? Well, you're going to have to look into that. Everybody's crying tariffs. Tariffs, to me, are a temporary negotiating thing. It's not going to be around forever. It's just to get things reset. All right, folks, and just like that, the wireless microphone battery left the chat. I apologize for that. I'm not a big fan of the wireless mics because you never know when they go out. You don't get any notification. But anyway, this was pretty much the end of our drive. We were kind of putting a cap on everything here with the 2025 Volkswagen Jetta SE. Good car, highly recommended. We give it a thumbs up, and great crash ratings. If you're in the market for a nice little sedan, I'd highly recommend this one. In case, again, I don't know the longevity of the mechanicals, you'd have to look into that. But we appreciate you guys riding along with us here at Vehicle Identification Specialist. Thank you for the subscriptions, the likes, the shares. Make a comment if you would. And thanks for rolling with Vehicle Identification Specialists.